You're tuned in to Oilers Nation every day with Tyler Yaremchuk, live every weekday on the Nation Network YouTube.
Deadline day gone. Second half of the season. That is all that matters now. Second half. What am I talking about? There's 20 games to go. My brain is scrambled. Let's get into it with the lead. A lot of streaming today. Welcome into Oilers Nation every day, coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio, sportscloset.ca. Bukestad jersey, Ekholm jersey. They could probably help you out with either of those. Not sure. Well, an Ekholm jersey would look pretty sharp. I wonder if there's been if you've been at some of the game or if you were at Wednesday's game, let me know if you saw a Matthias Ekholm jersey in the stands. I'm curious to know. Anyway, sportscloset.ca. It is a Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day edition of the show. Jay's going to be pulling up in just a second. He's cooking meat pies downstairs at the restaurant right now. But Jay will join us in a bit. We'll talk a little trade deadline, but this is mainly going to be focused on getting set for a big back-to-back set against the Winnipeg Jets. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow, noon Mountain Time, for a Saturday edition of the show. Connor Halley is going to be live tonight after the game as well with Oilers Nation After Dark. So we are rolling. It is a full content day here. Hope you all enjoyed trade deadline day or whatever the hell even happened today, because there was really not a lot. But welcome in to the Nation Network YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Our friend Lance was in with some nice words about the daily face-off deadline show. So I appreciate you, Lance. Yeah, come on, come sit down. I said we were starting at 7 or at 4. It's 4:07.
Yeah, it was 4:02. You guys were still doing O&R.
I know. Well, it's a busy day.
So,
deadline day is come and gone. You're disappointed the Oilers didn't do more, right?
Well, I feel like they could have. Like right now, we're in a situation where Yamamoto is slotted in as our second line right winger, and I'd kind of like to see a little bit more depth. I'd kind of like to see him push back if that was possible. But
it was just weird how little activity there was today. Like we still ended up
also
getting
a right shot defenseman would have been nice to get.
I know.
Rocco Gudis, I was definitely interested in getting.
Yeah, I was looking at a guy like Nick Seeler just because retained at 50%. You could have squeezed him in so easily. And I was like, that's just a layer of depth that would have been nice heading into the playoffs. A guy who I say is better than a Marcus Niemelainen. So I gave them a B+ on Oilers Nation Radio. If you want a full deadline breakdown from the Oilers perspective, that episode's going to drop right away here. But
I'm A+++.
Really?
Back home.
Oh yeah. But on
and
the deadline,
Duke side, I would C-. But now I'm starting to get warmer to the idea. I really want to watch him play.
Me too.
And I'll just shut up and stop being so critical.
I think that's a fair point. Drop your trade grade in the chat on YouTube, and we'll get to a few of those. Our pal Liam is kicking around. We just finished Oilers Nation Radio. You were a part of the DFO deadline show as well, crushing out all those trade boards. What letter grade did you give the Oilers on deadline day?
I gave them a B, and it wasn't for the acquisitions that they got. I think the acquisitions they got were both an A combined, but just the fact that I would have liked to see a little bit more on like the right side, maybe just some more experience.
Our friend Dukes is in and says, Jay, avoiding the grind makes you think you're cooking meat pies, not doing the show. And you walked in during Oilers Nation Radio with 2 bottles of red wine?
Yeah, well, Nation Sommelier, Dangerous Wade, knows Bag Milk and I are having a meat pie after today's work, after we clock out of the grind. And we put a call to action to him to find us some nice red to pair with a donair pie. So he originally gave us 1 bottle. Then he was concerned that wasn't going to work. So he came back with 2 bottles. So we have 3 bottles to taste. So after this, I don't know Tyler's going to have a glass of red wine because we're going to need some help. And I know he can't wait. And in Tyler's case, it's a shot of red wine.
I don't know if I can commit to that. Cam is in the chat, says A- deadline. Everything helps now. And Ekholm helps during this cup window. At least I think he meant Ekholm cups helps during the
I'm telling you
cup
right
window.
now, I'm trying to find a way to go to the game tonight. And if I do, I'm buying an Ekholm jersey.
You already got a Costin this year.
Buddy, it's Kool-Aid season. I'm excited.
It's Jay's money. He can spend it how he likes, Tyler.
I know. That's a good point. But you know me, I'm a fun sponge. I get the Ekholm jersey. You do it. I'm thinking I like to always buy a new jersey right before the playoffs every year to like get in the spirit of things. This year, I am thinking Royal Nugent-Hopkins. All this time of him being an Oiler, I have not committed to him the way he's committed to us as a fan base.
My first jersey I bought was a Nugent-Hopkins jersey.
Really?
Yes.
First ever?
First one I've ever bought for myself. Yeah.
Wow.
I was the minute we drafted him, I was so excited. Went to Jersey City.
I used to work there.
And got a Nuge, but if Sports Closet was around then, I would have went and gone there.
Rusty, the Reckless Optimist. I don't know how you do it with all the cap gymnastics. It would have been nice, but I'm okay with the roster we have now. I think that's fair as well. It's easy to look at this team, and maybe we could pull up, Aaron, if we could grab the daily face-off line so we could give people the visual on this whole thing. I'll talk about that a little bit more. Maj is in, says A- deadline. I thought we did amazing. Jacob says hopefully Holloway outplays Yamo. I mean, but then you got the lefty-righty imbalance thing that's going to continue to be a factor.
We've lost a lot of right shooting people.
But here's where I'll go with, I'm not as concerned about not getting a right winger better than Yamamoto. Aaron, if you pull this over, McDavid, Hyman, Nuge, Draisaitl, that Yamo spot. If that can be the Kane spot, and I understand it's flipping him to his off wing, and you're playing Hyman on the right, and he could be better on the left. Yeah. But if you go 11-7 and you go McDavid, Hyman, Kane, Nuge, Draisaitl as your 5, and do the thing they're doing now where they just rotate the top 5 options, that's a matchup nightmare. If the other team's coach is sitting there going, I don't know if it's Connor and Leon, just Connor, just Leon. I don't know what combo's coming over the boards next. That could be a nightmare scenario for an opposing coach. And then you could bump down. You could go like Yamamoto, McLeod, Fogle, Costin, and either Janmark, Ryan, or Bukestad as that extra forward. Or sorry, 2 of those 3 playing on your 4th line. Like
the 11-7 does give us that option. It does allow us to push that, but still, like, it's just so many left wingers, and we're just trying to manufacture some stuff to adjust the right side. But all good.
A lot of people saying they agree with the B+ grade. Rusty said there's no real way to grade this until the season is over. We win the cup, A++++. We don't make it to the conference finals, F. And that's fair. That's what I was kind of getting at from the start now. Like, no more talking trade rumors, as much as we are going to miss that. And I know people loved it. No more talking trade rumors. No more talking about what ifs. This is now all about the team coming down the stretch, and they control their own destiny to that extent. Yes?
100%.
Riley says he's hoping the short-term pain of coming up a move or two short this deadline pays off in a Karlsson acquisition this summer.
Well, that's the thing. If there's a master plan, so I'm not upset with what we did. We did address some needs, and we're finding out quickly the actual impact of Ekholm. So I'm excited to see him continue to play and see if this is just more than just a 1-game sample size. If this expands out, I'm also excited to see the effects he has on Broberg.
Yeah, I loved his puck moving too. Like, there was so much that I really, really liked in that game from Mattias Ekholm. We will dig into the matchup tonight against the Winnipeg Jets here in a second. If you missed the Daily Faceoff show, trade deadline edition, I had a chance to chat with Tyson Barrie actually.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
It was really cool when I'm just kind of sitting here, and I guess the listeners won't see this, but I see what I'm looking at now, right? Where there's all those black boxes. Yeah. And then one of the black boxes, you just see Tyson Barrie's face pop up. And you get a text from Frank being like, hey, Tyson Barrie might hop on in a second here. Be ready for that. It's like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll just on the fly figure out what to ask Tyson Barrie 2 days after he was traded.
I'd be like, I miss you, buddy.
Yeah. And he talked about the deal and all of that, but he also had an interesting line.
A little nugget there.
When he was asked about being traded from Edmonton, he said, I knew there was some I'm paraphrasing slightly, but he used the word traction when describing the Karlsson stuff. He said, I knew there was some traction and I might be a part of it. That's interesting. That maybe gives you a little window into how far down the line it went.
Tells you we want to get him. So that also means that Karlsson, if it was getting that far down the line, that Karlsson was interested in doing it as well, because you can't have discussions unless the players give him the blessing, given the no trade, no movement, whatever term of the clause he has in his contract.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm crushing water. My voice is starting to give out on me.
Oh yeah. We're supposed to have beers on this episode.
I thought we were, but too much going on. A lot of people in the chat talking about the first jersey they got with a name on the back. Because my first jersey that I would have gotten as a kid would have been blanks. First name was Eberle.
Cool.
Jordan Eberle guy. Yeah. Let's get into the Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day side of things. It's a back-to-back against the Winnipeg Jets tonight and then tomorrow in Winnipeg. Tomorrow in Winnipeg is when our pal Nick Bukestad is at least expected to make his Edmonton Oilers debut. The Winnipeg Jets, as far as their deadline plans, I actually think this fan base has a bit of a reason to feel underwhelmed. I like Nino Niederreiter. I don't love Nino Niederreiter. I just think he's fine. He's
I like him, just not at $4 million.
Well, and at the second round pick you gave up, that is a team I talked about on ONR, the failure from the Flyers not moving James Van Riemsdyk. I also think that is a little bit on the Jets for sure, the Kraken, the Golden Knights, these teams that had cap space and apparently didn't make an offer for a guy like JVR. The Jets have been struggling to score as a whole as of late. They could have used a guy like JVR on top of what they did. They wasted a 4th rounder on Vlad Nemesnikov, who I don't actually think is all that good. I think Jets fans have a reason to be a little irked that their GM once again didn't give them all the help they needed.
Jets are imploding. Good. They'll be pissed.
Yeah.
Be able to throw in the towel and they'll just lay an egg tonight and tomorrow.
They're just going to expect Connor Hellebuck to do everything for them, apparently.
Yeah.
Essentially seems like the game plan to me.
That was our game plan with our Connor a few years back. Now he's getting some support.
Now we're helping.
We know there was an arms race in the Eastern Conference.
Oh.
But when you look at the West,
understatement.
and it's almost crazy to say this, Matthias Ekholm, the Oilers getting Ekholm is the best singular player transaction. There's no team in the West that got a player added to their lineup more impactful than Matthias Ekholm.
Oh, 100%.
Gavrikov is not Ekholm.
No.
Korpisalo will not have the same impact as Ekholm because I just think he's Phoenix Copley 2.0. Jets did nothing. Flames did nothing. Kraken did nothing. Golden Knights got Barbashev, not as impactful as Matthias Ekholm. Stars got Domi, good, not as impactful as Matthias Ekholm. The Wild got Klingberg, not as impactful as Matthias Ekholm. The Avs got Lars Eller, who's fine,
Lars Eller,
but not as impactful as Matthias Ekholm.
They have 2 Lekkonens now on their team.
Lars Eller is he's not as fast as Lehkonen, and he's older, so
he is smarter,
and he doesn't score as
won
much.
A cup.
The point is,
very effective.
The Oilers getting Ekholm was the biggest move any team made in the Western Conference.
I agree.
That's
so
something to hang your hat on, Oilers
so much
fans.
So that I'm fanboying so hard right now, I need to manifest getting to the game and going and buying a jersey if I do. Because if I don't go to the game tonight, I probably this hunger and thirst to buy an Ekholm jersey will subside.
That's
right now. I am riding high. The reason why I'm checking my phone, I'm trying to see, did I get tickets?
Did you?
Woo! I need half an hour. In half an hour, I will find out if I got tickets.
Nice.
We'll be digging into a meat pie at that point too.
With a glass of wine.
It could be a great.
That is a great circumstance.
You're lining up to have a hell of a Friday.
Oh, it could be massive. I got tomorrow night. My girlfriend has an event, so I'm a solo dad all day tomorrow, all evening. So I've got a green light to go to the game tonight, and I have a green light to probably have a few beers tonight. And I haven't had a few beers in succession in a long time.
Yeah, you've been saying that to me for a bit.
It's been a while. So there is a little child in me. Well, I shouldn't say little child. There is a young Jay Downton, 23-year-old Jay Downton, bursting inside that wants to come out and freak in his new Ekholm jersey.
Here's the question. If you go to the game,
yes,
which I'm going to manifest and say you're going, and you want to get an Ekholm jersey, do you show up sans jersey?
Yeah.
So they might not have one on the rack. They might make
here's
it
the
for
thing,
you.
but here's honesty, because I know we have a good sponsor in Sports Closet.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't get one, if I have to order it from there and I can't get it ready available, I'm getting it from Sports Closet.
And I'll pick it up.
Me and Liam have a good connection.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Yeah, actually, Sports Closet just put you on the payroll.
Yeah, delivery boy.
Delivery boy. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the hockey game tonight. Honestly, it's not going to be a super long stream here. Parker's into see you with the pint, Jay? Question mark? Maybe, Parker. Top line for the Winnipeg Jets. Let's get into the lineups brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant, and their fantastic mobile service center. Mark Scheifele with Blake Wheeler and Kyle Connor. Kind of a down year for some of the big guns on the Winnipeg Jets. Actually, maybe I shouldn't say that. Scheifele's probably going to score 40 this year. Kyle Connors maybe dipped down a little bit lower, but I know he was banged up. Adam Lowry, he is actually not having a good year. Only 7 goals on the season. He's on a line with Nino Niederreiter and Nikolai Ehlers, who's healthy and definitely a factor for the Jets. Kevin Stenlund with Carson Kuhlman and Morgan Barron. David Gustafsson with Saku Menelainen. And Logan Stanley on the left side, or is that Christian Vesalainen? I can't quite see.
Logan Stanley.
Okay, they might go 11-7 is the point here. They might not have 12 forwards. This lineup, though, when you look at it, really illustrates the issues for the Jets and why I think they probably should have done more from their perspective. Decent-looking top 6, especially, with Pierre-Luc Dubois in the lineup centering that second line. That's a really good top 6, but the drop-off to the bottom 6 is significant in my opinion.
I think when you talk about the Jets and kind of what you just said, you list off those 6-7 guys they got, and you're like, holy smokes, this is a team. And then you kind of open the page a little bit and see everybody else on there. Am I remembering correctly that the Oilers should have probably beat the Jets on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, they played actually pretty good, and they
fell 3-2.
We got Hellebucked.
Yeah, that was it. We got goalied against them. Yeah. So hopefully a bit of revenge tonight. I think if the Oilers can do anything from the last 2 games, they played very well.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're
should
buzzing.
Be a lesser opponent, right? So
Hellebuck stopped 31-32 on New Year's Eve.
And McDavid's got to beat Punch Brockhurst tonight. What's his name? Broadbent, sorry.
Punch Broadbent. Connor McDavid looking to become the first player since 1922 to have 5 straight 2-goal games, or 6 straight 2-goal games, sorry.
When goalies couldn't bend down?
Yeah. That was before you were allowed to make forward passes in the offensive zone. Connor McDavid could do something that hasn't been done since before
I was blown away about the old rules of hockey.
Wait,
it was
that's
shocking.
a real rule?
In the offensive zone, you could only pass backwards.
I thought you were joking.
Oh, no, I'm being serious. That didn't get changed.
And then
like
goalies
27.
couldn't bend down.
But, because of a rule, or they just couldn't?
It was a rule.
Oh.
Goalies were not allowed to drop
humans
their
didn't have
knees.
backs then that could arch down.
Well, if they come
We've
back
evolved.
backwards, you never know. Yeah. 100 years later. Wow, that is insane.
We've hit 200 in the YouTube chat, so hammer that like button for us. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button as well. You're not going to want to miss what we got going on heading down the stretch.
Down the stretch.
And into the playoffs. The blue line for the Jets is worth talking about. Josh Norrisy up on the top pairing. That is a good D-man on a good contract, having a career year, and he could be a problem for the Oilers tonight. He's on a pairing with Dylan DeMello, Brendan Dillon with Neil Pionk, Dylan Sandberg with Nate Schmidt. I hate Neil Pionk. Hate him from a fan hockey perspective. I'm sure he's an okay guy.
He likes to go for the big hit and be a bit of a prick.
Well, if anyone wants to go for a big hit, they'll have Ryan Nugent-Hopkins feeding him punches in the face. So
Nugent
look out,
fight Pionk.
Winnipeg. Oh, yeah.
Nugent fight Pionk. Nuge scraps. It's just, it doesn't happen that often. He ain't afraid. And you saw that because he was pissed and he went out and served some justice.
I thought it was so awesome.
I thought that was great. Between the pipes tonight for the Winnipeg Jets, we are expecting it to be Connor Hellebuck.
Who's that backup?
David Riddick.
Oh, put him in.
Well, we'll get him tomorrow.
We'll get big. Yeah.
True.
Hellebuck and Skinner are confirmed. Connor Hellebuck, we talked about the Jets having a bit of a rough go as of late. He's allowed 5 goals against in back-to-back starts. Connor Hellebuck has not had a save percentage above .910 in 3 straight starts. He's starting to go through a bit of a rough patch here. Sign that they're probably leaning on him a little bit too much. He's played 46 times already this season, started 46 times, I should say. I think this is a Jets team that is starting to show some cracks, and that makes them a good opponent in this back-to-back for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, you're definitely catching him at a good time for obviously the way they've been playing, but also the way the Oilers have just been playing the last 2, like we said. So, home game Friday night at Rogers Place. Jay's potentially going to be there in his new Ekholm jersey with a pie in his belly. Could be a big night.
Living.
Some red wine.
Yeah.
Hashtag red wine lifestyle. Delicious South Island pie. Don't air meat pie. And just got an email from our friends at South Island Pie. Use code NATION20 for 20% off all your pie purchases.
If you're a Nation real life listener, you will know all about Jamie and the story of South Island Pie Co. here in Edmonton. Gavin, the intern, tells me the Jets have only picked up 3 points in their last 7 games.
Sliding.
They scored five.
They're in like the last wild card spot or something
Yeah.
crazy.
They scored 5 times against the Kings,
Of
so their
course.
offense woke up. Before that, shutout against the Islanders, only scored once against the Avs, only scored once against the Islanders before that as well. Then they had 4 against the Rangers, but then it was 2, 1, 2 because one came in a shootout. Like, they are struggling to score right now, is my point. The goaltending is starting to slip for them, and with Hellebuck, then Rittich. Like, if you win tonight, I'm fully expecting a sweep because you should be just pedal to the floor with big save Dave between the pipes.
Big save, Dave.
Golly.
I just will never ever forget that stick flip, and in his career, just hitting the ground as fast as that stick did when he flipped.
Because he was on a good run there.
Oh, he was hot. He was good. Wasn't he like considered to be like an all-star that season? I think
He was good,
solid, yeah. And then all of a sudden, all went downhill. Love to see
it really did.
Yeah, he
Too
went
bad.
a bridge too far.
Too bad for Dave. But yeah, expect the Oilers to see him tomorrow night. And if you're an Oilers fan, you're just checking in. Expected to be no Nick Bukestad this evening, but there's a shot he plays tomorrow in part 2 of this back-to-back against the Winnipeg Jets.
Is there been a reason out there that Bukestad hasn't come up yet?
I just think there hasn't been enough time for him to.
He
turn
just
around
got
over
in
here.
today,
Although I
right?
know the Ekholm thing was a
That's
similar
what I was
turnaround,
thinking.
but I
Yeah,
think he
we
just-
sent a jet for Ekholm.
Yeah, he chartered.
He had to fly.
Here's a ticket.
You see. Well, you saw in the background was all these silver-haired people in the back, like just like
Yeah.
you'd expect from a flight to Edmonton from Arizona.
Oh boy.
I did want to talk about the vibes around Matthias Ekholm. I don't know if people watching have maybe seen these quotes, but
I'm feeling the vibe.
I saw Spectre had a really good quote from, or a quote about Ekholm's wife, who's again from Sweden, and talked about how excited she is to raise her kids in a proper climate. She's a big skier and things like that, and is excited for Edmonton winters and things like that. And Matthias Ekholm said the big thing for him off the ice this week is actually finding a home in Edmonton, obviously under contract for a few more years. And he even talked about how he wants to come up and stay here for the entire summer and like really get acclimated and really get invested in the city. Like, it's a dream scenario.
Why did we trade for him like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Right? The joke Spectre made was finding a hockey wife who loves Edmonton, perhaps Ken Holland's finest hour. Thought that was a good line.
That's like, yeah, you gotta get it. Like, we've got a close connection spiritually to Scandinavians, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we should lean into that.
Yeah, we should. The Minnesota Wild lead into it today. John Klingberg and Oscar Sundqvist.
Sundqvist.
And they also picked up Gustav Nyquist and Marcus Johansson in the last couple of days.
Team Sweden.
Team Sweden over there
They
in
also got
Minnesota.
Trey Kroner.
Jonas Brodin there too.
That's a team. I like what they did, just scooping in, grab Klingberg right at the deadline. Sure, you basically had to pay nothing for him. My beef is you should have done the same thing with JVR because you had the money to do it.
Yeah.
I can't believe JVR didn't move, man. That's stunning.
It is
stunning.
it
That's
is-
the biggest story of deadline day.
Well, I think the biggest story was him moving and then not moving.
Well, him allegedly
Yeah.
potentially.
Well, and
maybe
going to
moving.
Detroit, which is like weird.
It didn't even make a ton of sense. Yeah, like
No.
why Detroit would have wanted to go all in. I said that they should have moved their picks for something to help them this year, but I was thinking something more along the lines of like someone with term. Like I thought they could have gotten Chikrin, but Chikrin now obviously ends up in Ottawa.
Or like Ivan Provorov or someone like that.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
a D-man that could really help him for a few years. Looking at the standings and the out-of-town scoreboard, the Oilers with 74 points are tied with the Seattle Kraken right now, but the Kraken do have a game in hand. Oilers 4 points back of the LA Kings. The Oilers have a game in hand on the Kings. Edmonton 4 points back of the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas has a game in hand, which brings me to the out-of-town scoreboard tonight, where you'll want to keep an eye on New Jersey and Vegas, because I think this could be setting up. Also, Seattle taking on Columbus in Columbus tonight. Hopefully, we get some luck on the out-of-town scoreboard, because it hasn't gone that way for the Oilers.
Yeah, the other teams have been hot lately.
And now that the deadline's passed, I think it is firmly worth watching the out-of-town scoreboard every single night.
What's our magic number?
Oh, I would have
50?
to ask Iwanek. It's probably too far away to even get good math on it because so many teams are still in the mix, you know? Anyways, let's get to our giant keys to victory for tonight's game against the Winnipeg Jets. We talked about how Connor Hellebuck has been struggling for a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and say dangerous chances, but early. got to get on Connor Hellebuck early. And I know starting early is like a cliche thing to say in these kind of segments, but when Hellebuck has been, quite frankly, bad in back-to-back starts, the last thing you want to do is pepper him from the outside, let him get into the game and start to think, all right, I'm out of my slump. No, crush that man's spirit early. Whatever, like, you are good enough to compete with everything else the Winnipeg Jets have going on in that lineup. The one person in that organization who can steal this game for them is Hellebuck. So crush him early.
I've got a trademark term for this.
Okay.
Shellebuck.
Hey.
Ayo.
TM. Don't even try and put that on a t-shirt because I will sue you. Okay?
Yep.
Shellebuck tonight. That is my keys to victory. Shell Connor Hellebuck with the galvanized rubber. He is having a lapse of confidence. We need to cash in on that. And our boy Connor, you need to keep being you, bud, because you are on another planet right now, and I love it. It's so fun to watch you, my friend. I hope we consider each other friends.
Yeah, I think you would.
I'd love
Liam?
to go for a beer with Connor McDavid.
Liam,
My key to victory, I'm just going to say, I think get the fans involved within the game.
Get a wave going early?
Just get them on the ice. Put them on the bench. No,
the
just-
vibes are going to be awesome in Rogers
Yeah.
tonight. Like a
That's why I
Friday
want to
night.
go. There's just
Yeah,
so much
I wanna go
excitement.
too.
Yeah,
Oh.
come, woo, let's go.
Get some hits in, get some momentum early, and just get Rogers Place rocking. I think it's when it's rocking, people know. Like Zach Cassian told Nick Bukestad there is no place like Edmonton in the playoffs, and just
Shout out to
credit to the
Cass.
fans.
Did he also tell him to shave his like
The
Civil War
sideburns.
mutton chops in?
That was iconic for a little bit there too.
That was great.
Mutts.
Well, I'll never forget that 17 run. Like that was special.
Yeah.
He was impactful.
Mm-hmm. That hit on the who did he hit
Dylan,
on?
was it
I
Dylan?
thought it was Brendan Dillon. And he screams at the glass of that guy.
That was great.
Oh, awesome.
Let's get into our Betway bets for this evening's hacky game. We all won our bets against the Leafs, didn't we?
Yep, we did.
I know we don't have a fresh board today because we were busy with
Busy
trade
day.
deadline stuff. But we'll update it after and we'll have it for the new one. I nailed my 3-1. Yours was what?
2.6 to 1.
You went
Mine
6
was
to
like
1.
105.
Oh, you just had them to win straight up.
Yeah.
So we all did it in different ways, but we all got big dubs in our Betway Game Day Big Bets Challenge. That rolls off the tongue, hey?
Sure
Jay,
does.
you have been like walking around the office all day. Can't wait for the betting segment. I got a big bet. Can't wait for the betting segment. So I'll let you go first.
I got a big bet.
Yep.
What is it?
You're really
Well-
buying it. It's going to pay for your jersey.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then some. Well, if I'm manifesting Connor beating Punch Broadbent
Mhm.
because it just Connor got his 2 goals in the first period.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. He's a man possessed right now. So here's tonight's Betway. This is what I like when they do their pre-built bets. Oilers money line over 6.5.
Mhm.
Connor 2 goals, 9-1.
Not even points, goals.
2 goals.
All right.
He's beating Punch tonight.
Yeah, look out, family and descendants of Punch Broadbent. Your name's about to be erased from the history.
We were
books.
talking
to be
about a
punched
60.
out of history.
Yeah, we were talking about 60, but Connor I think wants 70. Yeah, punch him right out of history.
What do you like, Liam?
I'm going with McDavid to get Punch out of there. 2 goals for McDaddy tonight.
What's that pay?
I haven't even looked.
Plus 300 on Betway, so
Plus 300?
4 to 1.
Yep.
4 to
Say
1.
Decimals.
Yeah, I did the decimals for you.
4.00?
4.00.
Yeah.
4-1.
You just know with decimals.
Man, it's just the odds on McDavid are crazy. Like for him to go over 2.5 points tonight is plus 130. Like that's crazy. 2.3 if you're on the other
Oh
one.
my god!
How do you
He's
even-
like, you have to be so good for that to be the odds. Like where
I-
you can find many people there to get a point is plus.
Yeah. And McDavid's all the way up at 3 points. Like it's just impossible to even bet on the damn guy right now.
That's why you gotta
Although
lump him into a bunch of things.
I do like the 4 to 1 on him to score 2 goals again tonight because like I'm just how do you not at this point?
You got to cheer for it.
Yeah.
He's
You need to.
determined, man. I really think he wants 70, and that's why he's like, shit. He's like, I'm off pace.
Oh, there was a picture of Nick Bukestad at the airport today.
I
Is that the one you were talking
and look
about?
look at the old people in behind.
Yeah, that is.
All the
Just like you
Snowbirds.
expect, yeah, snowbirds coming home on their
They
flight
hear-
all
from.
these hockey sticks.
I think that's so funny when they just have to travel with like all their hockey sticks and stuff tied up. I just think that's a great look. I do need to give my bet for this evening. God, I think the vibes are good. I'm really tempted to get into it.
Juicy. Yeah, see what you got up. It's not even that juicy. It should
no,
be more.
it's not.
To win by that much.
You know what? I'm just gonna play it easy. Oilers puck line plus 137. I think they win by 2 tonight.
Yeah,
this
that's
Jets
nice.
team is struggling. Tonight's one of those nights I don't want to have to watch like a bunch of things to happen. I'm not doing any 35-1 parlays. Missed on a 35-1 parlay against the Leafs.
Stick your neck out and put it on one of your Betway bets.
I know. I should.
Jeez, come on.
So I did Oilers to win the first, Oilers puck line, Connor to score 2, Hyman to score, McDavid shot prop, Hyman shot prop, missed by 2 McDavid shots.
He only had 2 shots.
He had 3 shots, and it was 4.5. And that's what I missed. It was 10 into $360.
Oh, man. So if
I could have bought an Ekholm jersey.
You could have bought like, yeah, definitely.
Darn. Anyways, I'm going puck line tonight. I don't want to have to sit and watch a bunch of stuff. I want to crush a bunch of beers, kick my feet up, and just watch the Oilers win by 2 goals or more. Simple as that. Give me Oilers puck line. I actually think it's good value too, so it makes sense. There you go. A lot of people talking about Connor McDavid. Yeah, it's this is a historic run. Like it is worth noting.
Amazing. It's so good. Like we all know this, but and we say this many times. But we are truly blessed with 97 as an Oiler.
He has 16 points in his last 5 games. Who does that?
And he's got 10 goals in his last 5 games.
Yeah. We might, and again,
maybe he's going for 80.
I caught some flack for saying this because they were like, oh, every year we say this is the best McDavid might ever be. This could be his peak, blah, blah, blah. But like, it is worth recognizing that this current run of games, this McDavid might not ever do this again and go 5 games.
10 goals in 5 games.
That's and 2 in every game, right? It's not like he had some crazy 4-goal game, and then a hat trick, and then like a game with none in there.
He's due for a hat trick. He's probably hat trick tonight.
I will lose my mind.
And your hat?
If I'm at the game, I'll lose my hat. Sure.
Are you going?
I'm not.
Do you want to go?
Debatable. Yeah. I want to.
I'm trying to go too.
I know. I'm trying to go too.
I mean, I'll go if we're going.
little ON everyday crew pulling up.
Gavin? Gavin's in. We're going to the game.
Okay, so the easy part is now done. We all have decided we want to go, right?
Yeah.
That's the issue with all of this. Anyways, Kyler is in, I said McDavid was getting 70, 80, 150 this year. Can't wait to win that 30-1 bet with a coworker that McDavid hits 150 points. Whoever gave you those odds needs to give their head a shake. My favorite bet from this season is that I took Connor McDavid over 121.5 points on the regular season, Jay, at minus 115. I wish I would have bet more on that. And I went pretty heavy on it, as you can see on my screen. He's at 118. I might get that bet paid out tonight. Yeah. I might buy my Nuge jersey tonight with those winnings.
Everyone's buying a jersey.
I guess I'm getting my Devin Score jersey.
He looks weird in 19.
He looks better in 19.
Sure.
He was flying last game.
Sure.
Somebody made a comment, the higher the number, the better the player. That explains McDavid.
Also, Bukestad, 72.
He's going to be unreal. What number is Derek Ryan?
10.
Oh, I was really 27 is Kulak.
Yeah.
Because imagine if like long Derek Ryan was 72 and Derek Ryan was 27.
That'd actually be pretty funny.
But he's not. So
fair enough. All right, we are coming up. We're north of 30 minutes. Honestly, I'm wiped. So let's wrap this bad boy up.
Have a beer.
You got pies
and
red wine. I got beers. Liam,
bananas,
a Diet Coke,
and a Diet Coke. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford, the Giant, for another great short edition of the Sherwood Ford Giant pregame show. We'll be back tomorrow at noon Mountain Time for a Saturday edition of the show. Big shout out to Sports Closet, sportscloset.ca. I'm coming for that Nuge jersey right away. So if you have it, just put it behind the counter or something. Hold it.
Stay tuned. I'm probably submitting my Ekholm.
Yeah, I'm coming to get it. Shout out to the Sports Closet, our friends at AMA Travel as well. 7 days from now, we will be in Toronto. Woo! That has me very fired up as well. Also, Star Mechanical, the sponsors of our guest line, starmechanical.ca. Thanks for watching today, everybody. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button before you go, and we'll chat again tomorrow. Enjoy the game.
Oilers.